My family buried me in silence. But her revenge was written in private. They buried an empty coffin, while I watched from across the cemetery. Rain poured down as my mother cried fake tears, my father stood stone-faced, and my sister Ashley held their hands. Nobody knew I was alive. Nobody knew I was standing behind that old oak tree, wearing a black hood, witnessing my own funeral. 3 weeks ago, they tried to kill me. They pushed me off a cliff during our family vacation, thinking the ocean would hide their crime forever. But I survived. A fisherman found me washed up on the beach, barely breathing. Now I was back, invisible and angry. As the funeral ended, I followed them home. Ashley laughed in the car. Finally, everything is mine, she said. My mother smiled. She was always in the way. Their words cut deeper than any knife. For 20 years, I thought they loved me. I was so wrong. Now, revenge was all I had left. My name is Elena Torres, and I was the family disappointment. My younger sister Ashley was the golden child, beautiful, talented, and charming. I was average, quiet, and forgettable. My parents never hid their preference. Why can't you be more like Ashley? My mother would ask constantly. She gets straight A's. She has so many friends. What do you have? I had nothing they valued. I worked hard, but it was never enough. Ashley barely tried and got praised for everything. When I got into a good college, they forgot to congratulate me. When Ashley got into the same college a year later, they threw a huge party. I learned to accept my place as the invisible daughter. But I never imagined they hated me enough to kill me. The vacation was supposed to be special. Family bonding time, my father called it. We went to Coastal Ridge, a beautiful town with high cliffs overlooking the ocean. On the third day, everything changed. We were hiking along the cliff path. The view was breathtaking, but dangerous. One wrong step meant a 100-foot drop into violent waves. Come closer to the edge, Elena, Ashley called. I want a photo of us together. I should have known something was wrong. Ashley never wanted photos with me. But I was stupid and hopeful. Maybe she was finally being nice. I walked to the edge, smiling. Ashley stood beside me, putting her arm around my shoulders. Say cheese, my mother shouted, holding her phone. The moment before the photo, Ashley pushed me hard. I didn't even have time to scream. I fell backward, arms flailing, seeing their faces above me. My mother was smiling. My father was checking his watch like he was bored. Ashley was laughing. Then I hit the water. The impact knocked me unconscious. I should have died. The fisherman, old Mr. Chen, said it was a miracle I survived. I woke up 3 days later in Mr. Chen's small cottage. Easy now, he said gently. You took quite a fall. My body was covered in bruises and cuts. My left arm was broken. My ribs ached with every breath. But I was alive. My family, I whispered. I need to call them. Mr. Chen looked uncomfortable. Miss, I saw the news. They already reported you missing. They said you wandered off during a hike and probably fell. My blood ran cold. They weren't looking for me. They wanted me dead. They pushed me, I said slowly, the truth settling in. My sister pushed me off that cliff. Mr. Chen believed me. He saw the calculation in my eyes, the betrayal. What will you do? He asked. I don't know, I admitted. But deep down, something dark was already forming. A plan. For days, I recovered in his cottage, watching news reports about my disappearance. My family gave tearful interviews. Elena was troubled lately, my mother lied to reporters. We're worried she might have hurt herself. My father nodded sadly. She was always so depressed. We tried to help her. Ashley cried beautiful tears. I miss my sister so much. Please come home, Elena. They were setting up a story, making it look like suicide. If my body was ever found, nobody would question it. I felt rage burning inside me. They didn't just want me dead. They wanted to destroy my reputation too. After 2 weeks, Mr. Chen helped me disappear properly. He had a niece in the city, who rented me a small apartment under a fake name. I dyed my hair black, wore colored contacts, and changed my style completely. Nobody would recognize me. Why not go to the police? Mr. Chen asked. Because they are rich, I said bitterly. They'll hire expensive lawyers. They'll make me look crazy. I need proof first. I started investigating my own family. I broke into our house when they were out, using the spare key I knew my mother hid. Everything was already different. Ashley had moved into my bedroom. My things were packed in boxes in the garage, ready to be thrown away. I went through those boxes, feeling like a ghost sorting through a dead person's belongings. In my old desk drawer, I found something interesting. A journal I didn't recognize. It was Ashley's handwriting. Elena is so stupid, one entry read. She doesn't even realize how much we hate her. Mom says we should wait until after graduation to do something about her. The inheritance splits 3 ways if she's alive. If she's dead, it's all ours. My hands shook reading her words. This wasn't a sudden decision. They had been planning this for years. I photographed every page. The journal revealed everything. My grandmother left a fortune when she died 5 years ago. It was divided equally between me, Ashley, and my parents. But there was a condition: the money was locked in a trust until I turned 25 or died. If I died, my share split between the remaining family members. I was turning 25 in 2 months. They killed me to get my inheritance. All that hatred, all those years of making me feel worthless, was about money. I almost laughed at how predictable it was. But I didn't laugh. I cried angry tears alone in that empty house. Then I took more photos. I found bank statements showing they were deeply in debt. My father's business was failing. My mother had gambling problems. Ashley's expensive lifestyle was funded by credit cards they couldn't pay. They were desperate, and I was their solution. I started watching them from a distance. Following them around the city, learning their routines. Ashley went to expensive restaurants and clubs every night. My mother went to secret gambling locations. My father met with loan sharks who looked dangerous. They spent money they didn't have, waiting for the insurance payout from my death. But there was a problem. Without a body, the insurance company wouldn't pay for 7 years. My family was getting desperate. We should have made sure she was dead, my father said one night. I was hiding outside their house, listening through an open window. Maybe we should hire someone to find the body. My mother agreed. Or we could file papers claiming she's legally dead. With the right lawyer and judge, it might work. They were relentless. Even with me supposedly dead, they weren't satisfied. They needed that money immediately. I decided to haunt them. Not literally, but close enough. I created anonymous social media accounts and started posting hints. What if Elena Torres didn't fall? What if she was pushed? The posts got attention. People from our town started gossiping. My family noticed. Who's writing this garbage? Ashley complained, scrolling through her phone. Some conspiracy theorist, my mother dismissed. Ignore it. But I didn't stop. I posted more details. The Torres family was in debt. Elena's death benefits them financially. Coincidence? Local news picked up the story. Suddenly, reporters were asking my family uncomfortable questions. Can you explain your financial situation? One journalist asked. My father looked angry. That's private. You're disrespecting our grief. But doubt was planted. People started looking at them differently. The perfect grieving family image was cracking. I smiled watching them squirm. This was just the beginning. Next, I contacted the insurance company anonymously. You should investigate the Torres family before paying out Elena's policy. There are suspicious circumstances around her disappearance. The insurance company took it seriously. They launched a full investigation. They interviewed people from Coastal Ridge. They reviewed the cliff location. They questioned why my family left the area immediately after I disappeared instead of searching. Why didn't you organize search parties? The investigator asked my parents. We were in shock, my mother claimed. We couldn't think straight. But their quick departure looked suspicious now. The investigator noticed they packed everything and left within hours. Who does that when their daughter is missing? Meanwhile, I broke into Ashley's apartment. She was at a club spending more money. I planted evidence carefully. I put my grandmother's necklace, the one I was wearing when I died, in Ashley's jewelry box. Then I called the police from a burner phone. Check Ashley Torres's apartment. You'll find Elena's necklace there. The one she was wearing when she disappeared. Police got a warrant and searched Ashley's place. They found the necklace exactly where I said. Ashley came home to cops in her apartment. This is Elena's, the detective said, holding up the necklace. How did you get it? Ashley's face went white. I don't know. That's not mine. Someone planted it. She was right, but she sounded like a liar. Did you take it off your sister's body? The detective pressed. No. She fell off a cliff. I don't know how that got here. Her panic made her look guilty. My parents hired expensive lawyers immediately. Our daughter is being framed, they claimed. But public opinion was turning against them. People whispered everywhere they went. That family killed their daughter. I attended one of Ashley's court hearings in disguise. She looked terrible, stressed, thin, scared. The lawyer argued there was no proof of murder. No body, no murder weapon, just a suspicious necklace. The real killer probably planted it, the lawyer suggested. The judge wasn't convinced, but had to let Ashley go. There wasn't enough evidence to charge her with murder. But the damage was done. Ashley's friends abandoned her. Her job fired her. Her boyfriend left her. She was socially destroyed. I felt satisfied watching her suffer. But it wasn't enough. I wanted them all to pay equally. My parents were still pretending to be supportive. We know you didn't do anything wrong, my mother told Ashley publicly. But privately, I heard them blame her. You should have been more careful, my father hissed. Now we look suspicious. They didn't care about Ashley. They only cared about money and reputation. I decided to target my mother next. I knew about her gambling addiction. She went to underground gambling houses twice a week, losing thousands of dollars. I followed her one night to a particularly shady location. The place was run by dangerous people. I made a deal with the owner, a scary man named Victor. That woman owes you money, right? I asked. Victor nodded. About $50,000. She keeps promising to pay after her daughter's insurance comes through. What if I told you that money is never coming? I said. What if I told you she killed her daughter and is being investigated? Victor's eyes darkened. Then she's a liability. And liabilities need to pay immediately. I gave him copies of the investigation files. She's broke. She can't pay you. Victor smiled coldly. Then we'll take payment another way. The next day, my mother was terrified. Victor's men visited her at home, demanding immediate payment. My mother panicked. She tried borrowing money from friends, but everyone had heard about the investigation. Nobody wanted to be associated with potential murderers. She sold her jewelry, her car, anything valuable. It still wasn't enough. Victor's men kept coming. One night, they vandalized our house. Broke windows, spray-painted threats. My father was furious. This is your fault, he shouted at my mother. Your stupid gambling destroyed everything. We just needed Elena's money, my mother cried. Then none of this would have happened. I recorded their argument from outside. They were confessing to murdering me for money, screaming at each other. Perfect. I sent the recording to the police. This time, the evidence was stronger. The recording clearly showed motive and implied guilt. Police arrested both my parents. You have the right to remain silent, the officer said, handcuffing my mother. She collapsed, crying. My father looked broken. Ashley was left alone. Her parents in jail, her reputation destroyed, her money gone. She moved to a tiny apartment in a bad neighborhood. The golden child who had everything now had nothing. I could have stopped there. But I wasn't done. I wanted her to know. I wanted her to understand that I survived. One night, I followed Ashley home from her waitressing job. She looked exhausted and defeated. As she unlocked her apartment door, I stepped from the shadows. Hello, Ashley. She turned and saw me. Her face went from confusion to recognition to absolute terror. Elena, she whispered. But you're dead. You thought I was dead, I corrected. You pushed me off that cliff and assumed the ocean finished your job. But I survived. Ashley backed against her door. This was all you. The posts, the necklace, everything. Every single thing, I confirmed. I destroyed your life piece by piece. Ashley started crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They made me do it. Nobody made you push me, I said coldly. You chose to. You chose to kill your own sister for money. We were desperate, she sobbed. Dad's business failed. Mom was in debt. We had no choice. There's always a choice, I replied. You could have asked for help. Could have gotten jobs. Could have done anything except murder me. Ashley fell to her knees. Please, Elena. Please don't send me to jail. I'll do anything. I'll confess. I'll make it right. You can't make murder right, I said. But you will confess. Every detail. Everything you planned, everything you did. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Tell the truth. And she did. Ashley confessed everything. How they planned it for months. How she volunteered to push me. How they celebrated afterward, thinking they were finally rich. With Ashley's confession recorded, I had everything I needed. But first, I wanted her to suffer in uncertainty. I'm not taking this to police yet, I told her. You're going to live wondering when I will. Every knock on your door could be cops. Every phone call could be your arrest. You'll know exactly how I felt watching you live freely while I was supposedly dead. Ashley looked horrified. That's torture. So was being pushed off a cliff by my own sister, I replied calmly. I left her there, crying in her doorway. For weeks, I let her panic. I sent her anonymous messages. Soon. The police are asking about you. Did you hear sirens? She became paranoid, barely sleeping. She lost weight, looked sick. Her co-workers worried about her. Are you okay? They asked. I'm fine, she lied. But she wasn't fine. She was falling apart, just like I wanted. Meanwhile, my parents were in jail awaiting trial. The prosecutor had the recording of them confessing. Their lawyer argued it was obtained illegally, but the judge allowed it as evidence. The court has right to hear potential murder confessions, the judge ruled. My parents' trial became huge news. Wealthy family allegedly kills daughter for inheritance, the headlines read. Everyone watched. During the trial, I sat in the audience wearing a wig and sunglasses. My mother testified first, trying to look sympathetic. We loved Elena, she claimed. We would never hurt her. The prosecutor played the recording. Her own voice filled the courtroom, we just needed Elena's money. Her face went white. There was no explaining that away. My father tried claiming the recording was edited or fake. But audio experts confirmed it was real. Their defense collapsed completely. The jury deliberated for only 3 hours. Guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. My parents were sentenced to 25 years in prison each. I watched them being led away in handcuffs. My mother sobbed. My father looked empty. I felt nothing for them. No sadness, no victory. Just emptiness. They made their choice. Now they lived with consequences. After their sentencing, I finally went to the police as myself. My name is Elena Torres, I told the detective. I'm alive. The detective's mouth fell open. But, you're dead. We buried you. You buried an empty coffin, I explained. My family tried to kill me, but I survived. And I've been gathering evidence. I showed them everything. Ashley's journal, the photos, the recordings, Ashley's confession video. The detective was amazed. This is incredible. Why didn't you come forward sooner? Because I needed proof, I said simply. And because they needed to suffer first. Ashley was arrested within hours. With her confession and my testimony, there was no defense. She pleaded guilty, hoping for a lighter sentence. She got 15 years. At her sentencing, she looked at me with hatred. I hope you're happy, she spat. I destroyed my family. You destroyed yourself, I replied. I just exposed what you already were, a murderer. The media went crazy. Dead woman returns to testify against family, the headlines screamed. Reporters wanted interviews, but I refused them all. I didn't want fame. I wanted justice. And I got it. My entire family was in prison. Their reputation was destroyed forever. Their friends abandoned them. My parents lost everything they owned paying lawyers. Ashley lost her youth to a prison cell. Meanwhile, I was free. Alive. Victorious. But victory felt hollow. I had no family anymore. Even though they were terrible, they were all I had. Ashley was arrested within hours. With her confession and my testimony, there was no defense. She pleaded guilty, hoping for a lighter sentence. She got 15 years. At her sentencing, she looked at me with hatred. I hope you're happy, she spat. I destroyed my family. You destroyed yourself, I replied. I just exposed what you already were, a murderer. The media went crazy. Dead woman returns to testify against family, the headlines screamed. Reporters wanted interviews, but I refused them all. I didn't want fame. I wanted justice. And I got it. My entire family was in prison. Their reputation was destroyed forever. Their friends abandoned them. My parents lost everything they owned paying lawyers. Ashley lost her youth to a prison cell. Meanwhile, I was free. Alive. Victorious. But victory felt hollow. I had no family anymore. Even though they were terrible, they were all I had. I moved to a new city to start fresh. Changed my name legally to Elena Martinez. Got a simple apartment and a quiet job at a bookstore. I wanted peace after all the chaos. But peace was difficult. I had nightmares about falling off that cliff. I woke up screaming, feeling the water closing over my head. Therapy helped. My therapist, Dr. Williams, was patient and kind. You survived trauma, she explained. Recovery takes time. I feel guilty, I admitted one session. They are my family. I destroyed them. They tried to kill you, Dr. Williams reminded me gently. You protected yourself. That's not wrong. But guilt lingered anyway. Sometimes I wondered if I went too far with my revenge. Should I have just gone to police immediately? Would that have been better? No, Dr. Williams said firmly. They would have hired lawyers and probably gotten away with it. You built a case that was impossible to deny. One day, I received a letter from Ashley in prison. Dear Elena, I know you hate me. I hate me too. What I did was unforgivable. I pushed you off a cliff. I tried to kill you. I don't expect forgiveness. But I need you to understand why. Mom and Dad raised us differently. You were always the strong one. You didn't need constant praise or attention. I was weak, and they knew it. They manipulated me my whole life, making me think I was special when really I was just their puppet. When they suggested getting rid of you, I should have refused. I should have warned you. Instead, I agreed because I was weak and greedy. I'm sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry. I'll spend the rest of my life regretting that moment. I pushed my sister off a cliff. What kind of monster does that? I deserve every year of my sentence. I just wanted you to know, I'm glad you survived. I read Ashley's letter multiple times. Part of me wanted to forgive her. She was young and manipulated. But another part couldn't forget the feeling of falling, seeing her laugh as I dropped. I wrote back. Ashley, your apology doesn't change anything. You still made the choice to push me. Yes, Mom and Dad manipulated you. But you're an adult responsible for your own actions. I don't forgive you. Maybe I never will. But I don't hate you anymore either. Hate is exhausting. I'm tired of anger. You'll serve your sentence. You'll live with what you did. That's punishment enough. Don't write me again. We're not sisters anymore. We're strangers who share DNA. Goodbye, Ashley. I sent the letter and felt a weight lift off me. She was my past now. I could finally focus on my future. I started making real friends, people who knew my story and accepted me anyway. 2 years after the trial, I was doing better. I went back to college to finish my degree. I got a better job as a social worker, helping other people escape dangerous situations. Your experience makes you uniquely qualified, my boss said during my interview. You understand what it's like to be betrayed by family. I did understand. I could spot the signs now, the manipulation, the control, the subtle cruelty. I helped dozens of people recognize abuse and escape before it escalated. The work was hard but rewarding. I met someone too. His name was David, and he was kind, patient, and genuine. He knew everything about my past and didn't run away. "You're brave," he said simply. "You survived something terrible and came out stronger." We took things slowly, building trust. After everything I'd been through, trust didn't come easily. But David was patient, never pushing, always understanding. For the first time in years, I felt genuinely happy. 5 years after my family tried to kill me, I was truly at peace. My parents remained in prison with no chance of early parole. Ashley had served 5 years and had 10 more to go. I didn't think about them much anymore. They were consequences of their own choices, nothing more. I married David in a small ceremony with friends and my therapist. Mr. Chen came too, the fisherman who saved my life. "Thank you," I told him, hugging him tight. "You gave me a second chance." "You saved yourself," he replied wisely. "I just pulled you from the water. Everything after was your strength." He was right. I survived because I was strong. I got justice because I was smart. I moved forward because I refused to let them win. Sometimes people asked if I regretted my revenge. No, I always answered honestly. They buried me in silence, hoping I'd disappear forever. But I wrote my revenge carefully, systematically destroying everything they valued. They took my life once. I took everything they had. That's fair. I finally understood something important. Family isn't just blood. Family is the people who love you, support you, and would never push you off a cliff. I found my real family. And I was finally, truly home.